Good evening and welcome to the show. This is Drinking Digital, the first and only weekly podcast here in the Philippines that talks exclusively about digital communications. I am your host, Ricky Baizas, Digital Marketing Executive for Nestle Philippines. And as a disclaimer, anything and everything that's said in this show are all my opinions and my views and does not necessarily reflect that of the companies. First of all, Happy New Year to all of our listeners and our viewers. We are broadcasting live for the first time in 2012 from Beyond the Box studios here at One Rockwell. Beyond the Box is a premium Apple reseller. So for any of your Mac products, any of your Apple products, just come and visit us here and check the store out. Happy New Year to everybody. This is our maiden episode from our new digs, from our new studio. So it's very, very clean, very fresh, very new. So this is the first time we're testing it out. So tonight we have a very special guest. We have from Manel's, Mr. Mark Siggaoat. Of course, Manel's is one of the premier shoe stores here in the Philippines. And the reason why we have him in the show is because they use a lot of social media and digital communications for their marketing. Mark!
Yes, hi Ricky.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
How are
Thanks
you?
for accommodating us.
Yes.
So, Mark, tell us a little bit more about the business of selling shoes.
The business of selling shoes.
First of all, before we
Alright.
get into that, what is your official title in Manel's?
I'm Mark Siggaoat, Vice President for Operations for Manel's Leather Goods Corporation.
Okay. And Manel's is a family business.
It's a family business.
Okay.
It's actually coined from the first names of my mom and dad.
Oh, okay.
My dad is Manuel,
Okay.
and my mom is Nelia. So it's sort of their legacy. It's parang their love team. So
Wow.
So, yun yung original mga Kim Herald, mga ganyan, diba? So,
even before it was fashionable.
Even, yeah.
Even before Brangelina.
Exactly,
Okay. So tell us a
exactly.
little bit more about the history of Manel's.
Well,
so you're second generation.
Yes,
Vale.
second generation.
All right. Okay.
Once again, it was founded in 1964 first by my mom out of sheer boredom.
Okay.
Actually, it started. She applied for the Ayala Center now, which is Glorieta.
Okay.
Before it was called the Quad, and there was maybe a few openings left, and it was supposed to be for a leather goods store. So,
Okay.
my mom, being the maverick that she is, she was told that we don't have any opening for other businesses. We don't have an opening for a shoe store initially.
Okay.
We have an opening for a leather goods store, and she goes, "I'll take it."
But she did not have any experience at all.
She
Is that how it
had.
is?
She's a chemist by profession, so she had
Okay.
a small pharmacy, like a
Okay.
convenience
Wow.
store. She would be buying some shoes from, I don't know where they sourced it before,
Okay.
Baclaran din or Divisoria.
And resell it.
Reselling it, but it wasn't Manel's yet.
Okay.
It became Manel's when we moved into the Quad, the Ayala Center now, and that's the first branch of Manel's.
So Manel's actually started out in Quad.
Yes,
In Makati. Okay.
and originally only leather goods, so it was bags,
Okay.
belts. After some time, they allowed us to carry shoes.
Okay.
But funny because the first thing that my mom did when she got home that night was she went to the dictionary and she checked leather goods.
Okay.
So she didn't even know what it was, but she just took it. She bit the bullet. Yeah.
And at this time, your dad was doing what?
My dad was actually a head accountant in one of the cement companies
Okay.
back in the day. It's still around actually.
And when was the time that your dad decided, let's do this full time?
I think a few years into the business.
Okay.
My mom always tells us na she pirated my dad. So
Okay.
piracy was already.
But they were married already.
They were.
1964, right?
1964,
Okay.
yes. Well, 1964 were the other businesses, and then late 60s to early 70s, the
Okay.
actual Manel's as we know it now. But we
Okay.
just pay tribute to 1964 as when my mom started all her different businesses, because it was also called Manel's na, pero hindi Manel's Leather Goods as it is known now.
So it's been around for a while. That's
It's been
like
around
40
for a
years.
while.
Okay.
It's almost twice as old as I am. So it's some big shoes to fill, as I say.
They opened their first store in Makati, and then what was their first experience of success? When did they know that this is gonna be big and we're gonna take this seriously? What was that first? When did they start expanding or expanding?
That's a good question. I actually don't know that milestone.
Okay.
But probably the time that my dad decided to go full time into it, mid 70s, was probably when they went in both feet, as you would say.
Magkakampi na. May
Magkakampi
partner
na.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need anymore a constant salary or a breadwinning corporate job. So that's when they went in full feet. So there, because before, when we expanded, as far as I know, it was only every time that malls opened.
You would have one branch also.
Yes, and back in the day, I think there were when it comes out, it's probably one mall per.
Few and far between.
Yeah, one mall per year. Unlike now, it's probably one mall per month somewhere in the Philippines, or maybe just in Metro Manila. So
it wasn't. It didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't big right away.
Okay.
We went with that. We went with that pace, but it worked to our advantage also. Okay,
and right now, how many branches does Manel's have?
Right now, we have 16 branches.
Wow.
Mostly nationwide, and mostly at the prime malls in Metro Manila, like the bigger malls.
16, that's a lot.
Yes.
And out of that 16, how many are in Metro Manila and how many are outside of Metro Manila?
I'd say around 12 are in Metro Manila or Greater Metro Manila.
The bulk are really still in Metro Manila.
Greater Metro Manila would include SM Clark, SM Bacoor, so the Greater Metro Manila, and then the far ones would be as far down as Cagayan de Oro and as far up as Baguio.
Wow. SM Baguio.
SM Baguio, yes.
Okay. And are your parents still very active in the operations of the business?
They are, since it's a family business and it's something they really grew from the ground up. They're active. We try to have them be active only at the board level so that the line of command is more clear. But as a family business, sometimes we still get to help each other. They help us out, so it's a good thing actually that we get to learn from them. They've been doing it for such a long time, and it's a good thing. They still get involved.
Okay. So Mark, how many brothers and sisters do you have? How many siblings do you have?
I have 4 siblings, so I'm the 5th.
Okay, and are they also active in the family business?
We have other family businesses that they are involved in, but it's me and my sister who are involved in the day-to-day business of Manel's as the boutique. Okay,
and at what part of your life did you decide that I'm gonna get into the family business and do this full time and help my parents out?
Actually,
how long have you been doing this? Vice President for Operations.
Oh, Vice President for Operations.
Okay. Leave you to explain it.
That was the end of 2009.
Okay. So still fairly recent.
Fairly recent, a little over 2 years.
Okay.
But I joined Manel's in Christmas of 2006. Yes, 2006.
Okay. As what during that time?
I came in as the head of IT.
Okay.
Because I come from a technology background.
Okay. What did you study in college?
I graduated BS in Information Technology.
Okay. All right.
UANP.
Okay.
After that, I took a marketing slash IT job.
At Wolfpack.
At Wolfpack, yeah.
Mobile, okay.
Yes. That's how I know Ricky.
Yes. We came from the same company.
Yeah.
So 2006,
Yeah.
and you were handling the IT part of the business.
Yes.
And then at 2009 is when you became...
The VP for... Well, I took on more roles as I went along.
Okay.
I became... Well, IT is largely administrative. So for a while, I was doing a lot of HR work, which was a good thing because it exposed me to a lot of dealing with people.
That's
and
right.
exposing me to a lot of the labor laws, I guess, which is kind of meticulous in our country.
The intricacies, the nitty-gritty
Yes,
of
it's
a business.
HR is a hard job, and you can only appreciate it when you're there.
When you're there.
The nitty gritty.
But back in 2006, what made you decide to leave that job in Wolfpack and
okay.
say, I'm gonna help out in the family business?
Well, I guess my parents were never really sold me on it. Maybe soft sell na konti, but
it's not like they force you. You gotta do this.
I was doing fine as it was, but I guess that feeling of gratitude and and Manel was really the company, the brand that sent me to school, that afforded me whatever luxuries that I had growing up. So I felt indebted to it. So that's when I came in, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, because before that, I mean, I was into tech, and I couldn't really tell like one shoe from another. I mean, it took a while. I mean, I like to dress up, but not to the level that I would be able to tell
What
really,
material from the
other. And what's in, and this is what goes well with this type of feet or something like that. So it took that took some time, but I enjoy it. I enjoy that in this industry, I guess, that we're in fashion right now.
Okay, and now fast forward to 2012. It's the year of
The Dragon.
digital marketing, social media, Philippines, Facebook, Twitter. And the reason why you're in this show is because I noticed that you do promote a lot of your promos and your offerings online.
Yes.
And you do have some exclusive deals online. What made you decide to inject that into the business? And how did your parents, or even the people that you work with, your employees and everybody else, take that in? So I'm sure there was some resistance. Tell us about that.
Actually, for me,
when did you decide na, hey, digital marketing can help me sell shoes?
As far back, actually, when I came in, Facebook wasn't the behemoth that it is now. I think Multiply was somewhere there.
That's right.
I was already telling them to make at least a Friendster account for Manel's.
Okay.
At first, it wasn't that there was resistance, but I guess it just wasn't as prioritized as it is now. And actually, the way I went about it is that since Manel's has been around for almost 5 decades now, 4 decades actually. It's our challenge also to renew our brand, to really revive it, to identify with a younger set. So in that approach, in that angle, that's why I felt like we really had the need to reinvent ourselves and really identify with the younger set, because honestly, like, for a while, maybe even to a lot of extent now, Manel's is still a 40-year-old brand.
That's right.
It's like a traditional brand. It's something that
it's established.
Yeah, it's established. Kids would say that their parents like it, but my point is, but the kids also have to like it. The young
we need to introduce it to the new generation.
Yeah, we can't count on just the old generation. So it's about really reintroducing the brand to a younger set. And that's how I went about it. There wasn't,
You started with Friendster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, when I came in, I think we were already doing some email blasts. So
Okay.
As far back as 2006. So that was already
The very basic of digital marketing.
Foot in the door.
Okay. How did you go about that email marketing?
Well, we had a customer database list anyway,
Okay.
and every transaction, people would come in and then write down their email addresses. So we had some database to work with.
Okay.
So that's how I went about introducing it, and when I came into fast forward into 2009, when I was really when I got into the role of heading operations, and luckily enough, that's when Facebook
Exploded.
Yes, really
yes.
exponentially. That's when we went about making our fan page.
Okay.
Fan page as it was then. It's not even
Yes.
called a fan page anymore
Yes.
now. That's when we got into Facebook. Then last year we got into Twitter, and then we did Foursquare also. So.
Okay. So all the Twitter stuff and the Foursquare
Yeah.
stuff are all fairly recent.
Fairly recent,
Before
yeah.
that was Facebook.
Mostly Facebook.
Okay.
Until now, we have the most number of followers or user base in Facebook still, I guess.
For
For our accounts anyway.
Okay.
For the number of engagement that we're getting from our customers, from our users, is mostly through Facebook still.
Okay. How many likes do you have in Facebook now?
Right now, we have around 21,000 or almost 22,000.
And is it safe to say that you're the only local brand when it comes to shoes or apparel doing this? Who are you looking out for that, hey, our competitor is doing the same?
Yeah, we have some competitors who are starting to do it. And some with some fair amount of success.
Okay.
I have to give credit to them. I won't plug them anymore.
Of course. But how did you get up to 20,000? What did you actually do?
The start was
to get
actually very easy. That's what I was going to talk about. 2009, 2010, it was easier to get fans to click on like.
there? Okay.
Last year, it was much
Tougher.
harder. Much harder. Of course, we have some ads that run continuously, but that's minimal.
So you do book those Facebook ads, the ones you see
We
on
do.
the right side. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We have that. Although much of the likes, I would say, would come from user-generated activity.
Okay.
One of the things that we have is actually since 2 years ago, we already encouraging customers to post their latest finds from Manel's online.
Okay.
Before we'd run we came to a point that we were running a contest na customers would post it, and then we'd pick a winner
Okay.
who would win, I think, a few hundred peso GC that they could use in Manel. So we had the weekly winner.
All right.
At some point, we were also running those usual like contests na
Yes.
paramihan ng likes, but
Yes.
I don't know, some
Back
people
in the day, though. Back
Yeah.
in the day, yeah.
now people don't like it anymore.
No,
Or
no.
people frown upon it. So
Yes.
I think that's why it was much simpler then.
Okay, okay.
And now we have a campaign we call Manel's Nation,
Okay.
which for us the point is Manel's was really brought together by the Filipinos. So parang Philippines is Manel's Nation for us. So we just sort of actually put that all together, that whole post your finds online of Manel's, and we feature random people off the street wearing Manel's, and they
Okay.
post it. We feature them. We would feature them online. Maybe we would have 2 to 3 users we feature online.
Okay.
Some of them, the best ones, have even made it onto the stores. So we have window displays that feature these customers or bloggers at to some extent.
So from online to offline.
Yes,
is what's
so
happening.
we
So they sort of become your endorsers.
yes, so
Real people instead of celebrities.
yes, exactly. So we engage them into, because really Manel's is not about the celebrity.
Yeah.
It's about everyone else. So it's our way of thanking them, but also encouraging them to, hey, you can have your 15 minutes with
Yes.
Manel. So that's another way that
Okay.
we've grown our user base.
And how can you say that these digital efforts of yours have paid off? Do you feel them in terms of sales or audience affinity? Do they say that I love Manels more because of what you're doing?
Yeah, actually, it's hard to measure on a return, as in peso to peso return
Okay.
scale. But, well, number one, it's easier for us to get our sales or our promos across.
Okay.
Because digital is much cheaper. We have our user base captured right there, the 20,000 plus. If we have sale announcements, it's easy to do.
Instant, you can do it right away. Yeah.
You don't have to have it printed, flyers and the like, mall posters, or even traditional media. Number two is also, I have gotten some feedback from people that they go, oh, I thought Manel's was this, Manel's was my mom's brand, my dad's brand, or I've seen it before, but I didn't know that you guys do this. Like, I didn't know you guys sell topsiders.
Okay.
And when I wear my topsiders, my friends go, I thought those were Sperry's. I go, no, I only wear Manel's. Duh.
Okay.
So that's one more thing. So the first point was to re-engage a new set of
Exactly.
customers. So that's happening.
Okay. You can feel that the
We can
younger
feel it.
demographic is already embracing Manel's as a
Yes.
brand. Okay.
Yes. And also, last year I really went out of my way to. We went out of our way to network with the bloggers, with the top 30 to top 50 bloggers in the nation, and even they give the same feedback. That's why I read it right away in their blog.
Yes.
They go, I was contacted by Manels, and I thought they only do so and so shoes, but they have nice stuff. They have high heels. They have platforms that are on par or even better than what the foreign competition has to offer. So there, I can really feel it. We're making traction, especially to that new customer base that we're really aiming for also.
That's right. But do you still invest some percentage or a major percentage of your marketing on traditional, like billboards, magazine ads?
Very seldom.
Okay.
We would have a small percentage doing actually more of TV sponsorships,
Okay.
magazines and PR, but yes, but most of the budget is already going to digital.
Your
so.
thrust is really going into digital marketing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's easier, it's easier, and it's cheaper actually, and the mileage seems to be faster, bigger returns. So
Okay.
for us, it's been
Of
worthwhile.
course, you're expecting that this will definitely pay off in the near future.
Yes.
Okay.
It already has. When we also do deals with the group buying sites.
Oh, so you've done group buying?
We've
deals
done
as well.
that also.
Okay. Tell us about your experience with that.
We've had deals. We've run with a couple of.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I can. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
We ran a deal with Ensogo.
Okay. We had Jay Padua from Ensogo as a guest.
Okay. So there, Ensogo.
And what was the deal?
50% off vouchers that they could use in the store.
Okay.
Also, we've run it with Cash Pinoy,
Okay.
and also with Pledgy before.
And what were the results?
They were good. They actually got a lot of foot traffic.
Okay.
So, I think that's the most tangible,
Of course.
and measurable initiative that we went into. So we've been pleased with it. We're just trying not to do it too much because
Of course.
not to eat away at the actual store sale.
That's
Actually,
right.
we were getting a lot of proposals for December, we were like, no, we don't want to do it December
because that's your peak.
Exactly.
Peak season,
so
right? When everybody's getting their bonus, and they're willing to fork over.
We didn't really want to do it then.
That's
so
right,
maybe sometime this year we'll probably run another one.
Okay.
We actually ran one deal with Cash Pinoy. But this is for another brand. It's actually under me and a different group, but it's made by the same makers of Manel. It's called Lap Dance Bags.
Okay.
It's laptop bags that are sold in some Apple stores and
produced in the Philippines.
Yeah, produced by the same makers of Manel. It's just a different brand. We actually ran a deal with Cash Pinoy that allowed them to order the actual items and with free delivery. So that went fairly well, not stellar, but it was all right. It was all right.
And within the Manel's organization, is it still solely you driving this, or do you have a couple of people helping you out already?
Well, my marketing staff, of course, are helping me implement it, of course, and they also
it's almost a requirement for you that they're well versed in.
Yes. Actually, one of the deliverables that they have is to ensure that our fan base is growing.
Okay.
X number of percentage, because it's easily measurable. I can put that in their appraisal.
Okay. And what's your target for them for 2012?
Well, actually, it's not an exact target for the whole month, for the whole year, but we'd like to grow at least 10% every month in number of users. So I make sure that they're also engaged in it.
Okay.
Also, as Facebook's very useful, I ask them to present a monthly breakdown of the user base that we get from Facebook, because you get that in your reports. You get what age group did you get, what post generated the amount of
comments,
feedback,
or shares.
So we really see that, and what content works, what doesn't. So we could see how we could engage our users better. Actually, even for Foursquare.
Okay.
So let's go into Foursquare.
Well, let's get into Foursquare.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the few retail stores who actually offers Foursquare specials, whether it be a check-in special or a mayor special.
Yes.
Tell us about that. When did you start doing that?
I got that when I got my BlackBerry last year. So that was around the first quarter. First, we were just playing around with it.
Okay.
But I think monitoring our Twitter account more closely, we saw that more and more people were checking into Foursquare. And at first, I think Foursquare, parang they didn't have too much of those manager tools. I mean that column. So you really I had to write them. Then they had to approve it manually. And then as Foursquare developed as a program, as an app for the admin panel, it became easier to manage. So we could change our specials right away. We could select the venues, and that's another good thing about Foursquare is that you can actually monitor the customer demographic on a per location basis.
Okay.
Well, right now it's still mostly males checking in.
Okay.
I guess more males are, I don't know.
They're more tech savvy, or they're more sophisticated with their handsets.
Or maybe they have to check in because their girlfriend requires
so
them
that they know where they are. Or I'm buying a pair of shoes.
Maybe it's like that, yeah. Or they're just buying or something.
Okay.
So actually sometimes also I ask them to give me the breakdown of how many Foursquare check-ins we got for a certain store. That's one feedback I'd give. It's mostly mail right now, and then there are sometimes like anomalies. Like there was some month that it was high in SM Baguio. I don't know. I mean, I find those things interesting that the mobile use applications are being done even in remote areas.
Yeah, because there's a there is a perception that digital is only popular in Manila.
Yeah.
Right? And with a certain demographic.
Yeah. It's actually a lot then. Or maybe because we were first also in this. Admittedly, it's not yet as big of a habit as they would in a restaurant. Even me, I mostly check in only restaurants, but that's why we make sure that we put out specials so that right now when the Foursquare application got updated, already flashes. There's a 30 new specials.
That's right. Yes.
In your radius or something. So we make sure we have something there so that at least it's in alignment with our strategy of getting new users, getting and reaching customers really not just through their computers, not just through their PCs, laptops, but even in their mobile smartphones, which I guess everyone's
that's where it's going anyway. Yeah.
Migrating to anyway.
What are these check-in and mayor specials that you offer for your customers?
Actually, for the very first one, I think we just gave 50% off just to make some noise.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think we ran it 1 month with no occasion, no strings attached.
Okay, so when you check in for the first time in a Manel store, you get 50% off on whatever you're gonna buy.
Yeah, but that was before.
Okay, yes. That's your introductory offer.
Because we just wanted to see
if somebody will actually avail of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And we just, that was a time when there wasn't that specials icon. That's right. So it had to be very catchy.
Okay.
And
were there any takers?
Yes, there were. Yes, there were. Sometimes, that's the problem. Like I changed it already online, and then we have it fully cascaded it to store. So my managers would give me a call na, "Sir, meron ba tayong bagong Foursquare?" I go, oo.
Okay.
Paki-accommodate. And then we ran that maybe for the first ones. And then we also ran specials on like some topsiders. It would sell for let's say 1,495. We sold it at 999 for Foursquare
for like
specials.
a 500 peso discount.
Yes.
Okay.
For if it's 20% off in the store, but if you have a Foursquare, it would be a little bit more, like 30 to 40%. So just really trying to encourage people to engage themselves more in Foursquare. For free for Foursquare.
And this is for all your. Is this for all your?
Yes.
All your branches. There's
because
it's special for each.
Yeah. Well, I don't customize it anymore per branch.
Okay.
But actually, we could do that.
Okay.
It's a lot more. Not a lot more work, but it's more detailed, I guess. But it's fun. I mean, it's easy to change your specials just like that. Mayor special. I think we were giving away like a free echo bag or something at some point. So there, it's been interesting. And then also on Twitter, I saw one guy who checked in and he goes, "Wow, 50%! Like
that's huge.
That's unprecedented for Foursquare." So that's one of the things that we're really looking into also. So we're actually, that's what we're thinking. Maybe Foursquare will really boom this year. I don't know what the reviews are saying, but I think Foursquare
for your business, it's very good because it is about foot traffic and being in the actual location. Okay.
Maybe it's gonna boom more this year.
Okay.
Hopefully, yeah.
You mentioned Twitter a lot. How do you use Twitter?
Okay.
To sell Manels?
Twitter would just be actually echoes a lot of what the Manel's account is saying. And Facebook, sorry. The Manel's Facebook account is saying, but
so there is a Manel's Twitter account.
No, actually,
or is it you?
It's me.
Okay.
The Manel's Facebook, Twitter account is at @marksig underscore Manels. That's @marksig underscore Manels. That's just an abbreviation of my last name. And what I did it that way because I think not a lot of people want to follow just brands.
That's right.
Per se.
They don't want to follow a logo or a product. They want to follow a person
that just tries to sell you something and something and something.
So you're not beyond saying I'm the owner or I own this business, so you can talk to me directly.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That's rare because that's very rare.
Yeah. It's actually, yeah, Mark Sigmanels. It started as my personal Twitter account. We had another Twitter account before, but it was just, I mean, Twitter, you have to say something every day.
That's right.
As much as 5 times a day. So
Twitter is hard work, man.
it's hard work.
I just recently discovered Twitter, and I'm like, I gotta do this every time.
It's hard work, and just because just because you follow someone doesn't mean they'll follow you back.
That's right.
It's not Friends. It's not Facebook. So it's not a two-way thing right
That's
away.
right.
Somebody has to like you back.
You gotta win their affection.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not as easy as that. So, I mean, so in one of our brainstorming days, I go, yeah, why don't I become not the face of Manel's, not the endorser, but just to become the voice of Manel's,
Yeah.
add some human touch, some human angle to
Yes.
it. That's why my Twitter account is Mark Siggaoat, Big Shoes to Fill.
Okay.
Adventures of a Successor. So it's everything. I mean, I'll share some stories about my staff sometimes,
Okay.
or what we did, or sometimes just random stuff like I attended so and so event, or
Okay.
maybe sometimes just random rantings from me. But I try not to rant
Just
too
so
much.
it's authentic, right? Just so
Yes.
it's an honest
and it is
voice.
authentic,
Yeah.
not for the sake of it being
Yeah,
authentic,
yeah.
but that is me. So I don't have a PR guy doing that for me because I'm not a celebrity.
Okay.
But yeah, just so they know what's going on, and they can really engage with me on a personal level. And also, actually, yeah, I had countertops printed in the store, so it also serves as a help desk
Okay.
for people looking for Manels in a certain location. If they have some questions, they have some feedback. I mean, sometimes there's some good feedback, there's some bad feedback. Then I want to be able to be there to hear them out. Just to have somebody on the end of the line. So in a way, I'm like a call center
That's right.
agent also for them.
Okay.
So it's been nice. I mean, people have been generally nice. They've been surprised that I'd reply, and I'm surprised that they're surprised. I mean, for me, it's work. I mean, that's what I'm there for. But it's been enjoyable also. And then also when people check into Foursquare and send it via Twitter, I'll usually thank them for dropping by,
Okay.
and then usually they're so happy they'll retweet it. And then they're like, "Thanks for." Like, okay, thanks. No, I'm like, no, thank you for
Of course.
coming. I mean, it's our business. So, yeah. But yes, Twitter is a lot of hard work.
So let's look at the other side of digital marketing or digital communications. Any horror stories that you'd like to share about Twitter? Any unfortunate incidents? Some irate customers and how you handled it, or it hasn't reached that level?
Not that level. I guess the hardest thing we've actually encountered are customers for the group buying sites.
Okay.
When they redeem something, sometimes I think we're all guilty to that. We don't read the fine print, so becomes this messy thing in the store. But generally, there have been very few complaints like that
Okay.
are threatening. But usually, they're nice. They've been accommodating still. I mean, just takes a matter of making it up to them, or there are some customers that really just insist. Sometimes you just have to give it to them because customers still always right.
Of course.
Twitter, I'm not so much I guess scared of what could happen because everything's private anyway. But Facebook is the one I'm more cautious because people just post.
Any bad experiences so far with Facebook?
Maybe I deleted it even in my head. No, but nothing that really stands out.
Okay.
Just usually that Twitter, maybe sometimes Facebook, they would say, I thought your promo was like this.
Okay.
That's so misleading. But usually, sometimes it's our fault, I guess, that we could have been more eloquent, or we could have been more detailed about the mechanics. But sometimes they just don't read it properly. But you're always gonna have those anyway in any consumer business. So you just take the good with the bad.
Of course.
Anyway.
Okay. Now, for 2012 or for the near future, where do you think social media or digital marketing is going to with regards to your business? Any new platforms that you're looking at that you'd like to experiment with, or other platforms that you want to invest in more because it'll help the business?
Well, number one, like I said, Facebook's getting a lot harder to get users engaged. People can't do the pages anymore.
Because a lot more brands and businesses are advertising now, so it's harder to get the people's attention.
Yeah, everyone's bombarded. So I guess we've been toying with the idea of making some apps that are available.
Mobile apps, that's
not
thing,
Facebook apps actually. Like working with Jeff Saez with New Works. So I'm gonna plug for him na lang din. Or Miguel Quesada of Virus. Facebook apps, I don't know how viable that is, but that's something we're considering.
Okay. So like a Manel's app that's permanent.
Yeah, maybe there's
not
something.
Not just a tactical effort.
Yeah, not just the usual populate content or whatever.
Okay.
Last year I also attended the Multiply party, the relaunching, and I think Multiply have their heads on more focused now. They're no longer a social networking site per se. They've really done their shopping persona. So, and yeah, they've been working with Send. They've streamlined the hassles of doing online shopping. So that's probably something we'll look into. I think the market is just about ripe to really start embracing anyway, online commerce because in the Philippines, it's taken a while. It's taken like years. It's taken a decade for something to happen. But with the advent of the group buying sites, I think that's the foot in the door now.
Right.
People got comfortable, like, hey, we can do this. So I think we're just about there. We can do more online orderings. Not just a lot of people actually sell online now, pero it's still a lot of meetups.
Yes.
Mga bank deposits.
That's right.
So, but with the new Multiply platform, I think we can streamline it. It can be a lot easier with the courier and payment gateway set in place. That's number 2. Number 3, as I said, Foursquare. I think it's gonna pick up some more. I think the Foursquare guys in their headquarters are also beefing up the app. As to what we will try new, that I'm not sure of.
Okay.
Because last year we tried Twitter and Foursquare, maybe Foursquare, and that sort of was the right direction.
Okay.
I don't know it yet this year. Maybe, I don't know. I hear Pinterest is good, or I don't know if Tumblr will reach that. That level.
Because I think the younger crowd really takes to Tumblr like crazy. Right?
Exactly. So yeah, they're all about the posting and reposting and all this. It's like this underground.
Yeah.
It's like you go. I saw these.
Their
posts,
parents are in Facebook.
Exactly.
Their grandparents are in Facebook.
They say that they say on Tumblr everything because everyone's on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's their nice persona, but on Tumblr they pour out their love lives, their I don't know. So everything's there. So I don't know if Tumblr will reach that level of engaging, crossing over to a commerce or a or for companies to benefit. But Tumblr's really something we have to keep an eye on also.
Okay. You mentioned e-commerce earlier. Because I do notice a couple of sites already selling dresses, and they're not even on the Multiply platform or on the eBay platform. These are real sites who are selling dresses and even shoes exclusively. What's your reaction to that? Of course, we all know about Zappos and the success of Zappos. What's your contingency plan, or what's your plan when these things go mainstream or it becomes huge? Can we expect a Manel's online store in the near future? Is this something that you're toying with already?
Yes, definitely. It's always been there. Actually, it's always been on the pipeline or plans, I guess, but it never really came together because I was telling them also, like, if you build your site, you have to drive traffic to your site. I mean, it's like, my analogy is like, it's like a standalone store, not even near anything, in the middle of nowhere. You have a standalone store. But if you go together with first the group buying site, which is already a home run, but if you go with like these like multiply sites that people are already engaged, it's sort of, that's a standalone store. But if you're in Multiply, you're like a mall. So
because there are other merchants already that might be linked to you. There's that whole ecosystem.
And they have
already.
That bulletin board, and then everyone's more comfortable with it. I think as a nation, as a culture, we're a little hesitant on buying direct. So we like knowing that. We like knowing we're buying from a third-party group buying site. We like knowing we're buying from something that's policed by a third party, I guess. So in the near future, I see us more focused on that. Maybe not just Multiply. Maybe we can look into something else. But as driving our own, maybe not right away, but it's definitely there. I mean, if we see that the market is really ripe for it, for just like they do in the States, so that's always there. But we don't see it as a top priority given those factors. Okay.
What do you buy online? Have you ever bought anything online?
Vouchers also.
Okay.
Just vouchers. Maybe back in the day, maybe a few CDs in Amazon.
Okay, all right.
Wow, that's back in the day when you couldn't download stuff yet.
Yeah.
But not so much. I don't buy too many things online. So that's even me. I mean, I guess.
Somebody's already savvy with it.
Yeah, I guess that's how I would put it. Na parang I guess I should be more comfortable, or maybe I just don't trust the courier service or the Philippine Postal Service.
No, the reason why I ask is because of Zappos.
Yeah.
Of course, what happens when Zappos finally becomes available in the Philippines and people can buy their shoes online?
What we would do is treat them like Multiply. I mean, we'd have to work through them. I mean, I think for us, we have to focus on also what we do best. Maybe it's best we have that done by a third party guy who would just focus on promoting their site and really just driving traffic, because I know that's a full-time job in itself. Diba? I mean, you have to dedicate departments, or you would have a separate company just focused on that. So yes, it's there in the pipeline, but not necessarily something that's going to be prioritized right away, unless something really different happens this year and people really start moving towards that direction. As it is, I think we're so far. I think we've played our cards right. Also.
Okay, let's talk more about the production of the actual shoes. How do you use the internet in determining what the fashions will be, or what the fads will be, or the trends rather, for footwear? Do you use the internet for research and finding out, hey, this is huge in Italy or in Japan, and I'll tell my shoemakers here to follow? Any experiences on that?
Yeah, actually, that's what's made business so much tougher, I guess, for the fashion industry as a whole.
Because it's easier now, right?
It's easier
You don't
now.
have to rely on just magazines to
Because
see.
before, I think, I don't know, like maybe 10 years ago or maybe before the internet, I know the fashion forecast would be 2 seasons delayed. Once it before it reaches the Philippines, before it's available. I mean, I guess before the magazines get shipped here, it'll be a few weeks. But now, like have a Victoria's Secret fashion show or something, or maybe a Versace fashion show. Come on,
Versace fashion show, come on.
try to recover.
Okay.
As if we make lingerie, Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
Top of mind, No, I mean, if somebody launches a line like Paris Fashion Week or Milan Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, it's fast. I mean, people see it right away.
And they want that right away.
They want
so
that
you gotta
right
make it
away,
available
so you
in your
gotta be
stores,
fast.
right? Yeah.
You gotta be working with your suppliers also. I mean, you gotta be working with the suppliers of your raw materials, your leather, your accessories, your heels, or like shoemaking's a very intricate business na you have to source from elsewhere. So they have actually those people from other countries. I think say we're sourcing leather from Brazil. They have to be on top of that. Like let's say ostrich leather is in, so we have to be knocking on their doors right away. And us also, we're putting it together right here right away. So it makes things easier, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword also. I mean, what you can do easier, your competition can also do. Maybe even much easier. So you just have to be sprinting the whole time.
Okay.
Much, yeah.
So, Mark, before we end the show, a couple of parting words to our listeners, specifically for other retail business owners out there with regards to digital marketing, and also to your customers. Any parting words or any parting advice that you'd like to impart to them?
Wait. Well, number one,
you've taken the leap.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're walking the talk, and it's working for you.
In the fashion industry, for people in retailing, especially people in the fashion industry and makers of shoes and apparel, no matter what size you are, there's always gonna be somebody somewhere. And this is what I always say: every girl wants to have her own fashion line, may it be shoes, accessories. So every girl is always a threat. I mean, so to say. So there's no more. Actually, size sometimes gets in the way. It's hard then. You can't leverage your size. Sometimes it means you're not too flexible. So my point is, anyone can really outdo you as your competitor. So you have to be at the forefront of product development and also marketing it, because
that's right.
A lot of these guys, like bloggers, they can just come out with their own line
and promoted themselves.
And
before
then
you know it, your market share.
They don't have hassle with inventory. They even jack up the price because it's limited edition. Right. So it works to their advantage. So, for companies like legacy brands such as ours, like
who've been around for decades.
Yeah, we can't rest on our laurels. We can't take any of the small competition as if they're nothing, because some of them are very good. Some of them are even better when it comes to design. So we have to pay attention to the mobile tools, the internet tools that we have here.
Okay, and to your customers, your loyal customers.
Well, first, generally, I want to speak.
And for your potential customers, anything you want.
Well, to everyone, for me, as I said, Manel's Nation is about the Philippines, and for me, I've always been an advocate of local brands. I think the best, for our brands that we have, clothing brands out there very much on par with what the foreign brands have to offer. It's just a brand. So for me, it's support local. Because I don't know, for me, I've always been an advocate of that. I believe in what the Filipino craftsmen can put together, and like Bench and Pen Shop, they're very good with their branding, as you can see. So and in design. So let's advocate Filipino brands. Let's really support. And then for that's as a whole. That's for the country. You know? I have to step up kahit paano. And then for our customers and potential customers, I would just advise,
where can they find you online?
Yes, first, our Facebook page is facebook.com/Manel's Leather Goods. Facebook.com/Manel's Leather Goods. That's one word. And then at Twitter, that you can tweet me right after this podcast or whenever you get to view it or when you're bored. That sounded like a weird like a weird ad, like a weird comma. No, you can anything fashion, business, or are related to our business. My Twitter account is marksig_manels. So that's twitter.com/marksig MARKSIG_manels. So it's my account. It's also the company account. So can give me feedback there. And then
if they're in your store, make sure to check in.
Yeah. In our stores, we are in the major SM branches. We're in Ayala, Cebu. We're in Cagayan de Oro, Limcat Kai. And I guess what I could give is some tips on selecting shoes. Like I would advise people to be very cautious about, well, not cautious, but particular in buying quality. As much as possible, buy leather. You can tell it by the smell, the feel. Especially for a tropical country such as ours. Actually, some people think because we're a tropical country, we don't need leather. Actually, on the contrary, like me, I have sweaty palms. I get sweaty feet. So I can't really wear synthetic because it just makes your feet warmer, makes your, I don't know. It's for me, it's uncomfortable synthetic leather stuff. So as much as possible, buy leather. Leather definitely is a lot more expensive. Is pricier than the man-made leather or synthetic material, but
it'll pay off.
It pays off because leather even looks better over time. It ages well. Even if sometimes it goes out of fashion, it can come back into fashion. Like you were talking about earlier, you can have a pair of boots that are 15 years old and they can come back and it's paying for itself. So that's one more. And then
anything they can expect from Manel's this year?
Expect new looks from Manel's. New looks, new campaigns from Manel's. Our branch in SM Mega Mall, it's a newly renovated branch at SM Mega Mall, 3rd floor, Building B. That sports our new look.
Okay. So there's a new look.
There's a new look,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to renovate all stores, but we have a few stores that have already sported this new look. Also in Festival Alabang, Festival Supermall Alabang. So you could come check it out. That's the newer, younger, fresher image of Manel's. In
line with the digital audience.
So it all comes together.
All right.
Expect us to come to a mobile phone near you, I guess, or a new mobile app. So we'll be experimenting, and if there's anything that there's feedback, you can just tweet it to me, or if there are Foursquare specials that you would like us to run, or I don't know, any kahit Facebook specials
Or group buying deals.
yeah, that you would like us to offer, let us know because it's a lot easier to do these things online before DTI starts flagging
All right.
all these online stuff also. So it's a lot easier to implement. Just give the idea. And we're very open to collaboration with people. If you have designs, you want to make pagawa a certain design, whether it be wingtips, brogues, or it's not so far fetched that we could probably work with you in putting it together.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Ricky.
Thanks for gracing the show.
Thanks for having me. It's a privilege.
There you have it, Mr. Mark Siggaoat,
Thank you.
Vice President for Operations for Manel's. And this has been Drinking Digital, the first and only weekly podcast here in the Philippines that talks exclusively about digital communications. Thank you again, Mr. Mark
Thank you.
Siggaoat, for accommodating us
It's been fun.
and talking to our audience about businesses that actually use digital communications to increase their sales and to help their customers. This has been Ricky Baizes, your host. And we are broadcasting from Beyond the Box here at One Rockwell, the premium Apple reseller here in Makati. And of course, we'd like to thank Mr. Miguel, the man with the plan Olfindo, our guy behind the scenes. And we'd like to thank, of course, Kenneth Tan of Ken.ph for our logo. And of course, we are broadcasting from battleaxenetwork.com. Check out our other podcasts. We do have Good Times with Mo and Tropical Banter. Check out those other podcasts at battleaxenetwork.com. And we'll see you again next week for another drink of Drinking Digital. And the weekend starts at 5, 4, 3,